Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Makeup and More with Melissa. Today in my video, I wanted to create another video like the one I did last time with my 7 top fall drugstore palettes, but this time along the lines of 7 of my top picks for high-end palettes. I thought this would be a fun video to shoot. 7 drugstore, 7 on the more expensive ones you would not normally find in a drugstore setting like CVS or Walgreens or Walmart, any of those types. More along the lines of Ulta, Sephora, Nordstrom's, places like that. So I put together just things I was feeling right at the moment. So if this kind of video would interest you, please consider subscribing to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you know each and every time that I upload a video. And if you are ready, then why don't we just get on to it? So, like last time, these palettes are not in any particular order. I just stuck them in a pile after I went over them in my head several times. And this is what I came up with when I was thinking about my favorites for me, which just ones I kept coming around to when I was thinking of ease of use and trying to stay on the more friendly user kind of situation, because not all of us are a pro or a makeup artist. I'm not a professional makeup artist. I've just had 35-40 years of practicing. Just kidding, I'm not that old. But anyway, so to start it off, one of the first actual palettes that I remember using, that I just thought this is a fun palette to use. It's easy to use. I like the colors. It's a great everyday fall warm palette. Is my Persona Identity palette. I love this palette. To me, this has a great selection of fall tones. This is actually my second palette. I was too embarrassed to show my first. All of the colors kind of had gotten mushed in there together, and I had hit pan on most of them and kind of dug into a lot of them. I'd say it was an old one, but this palette just has some beautiful shimmer shades. They all blend well on top of each other. You have just a delightful selection of colors, and they're easy to use. When I was working, I remember being able to come up with a quick and easy look. Usually it was just using 2. I would throw on just a quick matte base, 1, and then I'd throw some shimmer right on top. I mean, I didn't have the time to be too bothered by it, but I always got compliments on it, which was really, really nice. And when I stopped working, I really got into the palette and started creating more eye looks with other colors in there, and it's just such an easy palette to work with, and they all kind of blend in well with each other. So it's not a horribly difficult palette to use, but it's comfortable. It's nice for every day. It's easy to use. So I thought of this palette immediately. One of my top favorite palettes. You do find this one in Ulta. I did check. I'll put the price somewhere along the bottom somewhere, or it could be on the top with me. You never know. But if you're looking for a great warm palette that's not gonna like break your budget, but it's gonna be nice. I highly recommend this palette. It can also be found on their website, Persona. They have some lovely stuff. Lovely. So that was one of my first thoughts. So next, this is not a palette I would consider necessarily high-end, but I did pick it up because it's not one that you can find in the drugstore. It is one you can find on Ulta, in Ulta. It is one that you can find on their regular website, but I love the colors. Again, it lends itself to the beautiful warm browns and reds and burgundies that we think when we think of fall leaves and cranberries and pine cones and just all those things. I just thought of it. It's Colourpop's Whatever palette. This is just a reasonably priced but yet warm and colorful palette. It's got, you know, just stuck my finger in it. It's got your reds, your browns, your golds colors in here. It's again another very blendable palette. It's not hard. You've got browns in there. It's a very gentle palette. The only thing that I will caution you about is Colourpop's, as much as I love them, their palettes do produce a lot of fallout. So a word of advice or tip to you is do your eyes first, or anticipate having to very much knock off that brush quite a bit, because you will get fallout. You will no doubt get, in these drier shades, you will get some dust mixed in with the others. But some of these colors are just absolutely beautiful. And I would highly recommend this palette for your beautiful reds that you're looking for. I would recommend using a glitter glue if you use these glitter colors. They do have a tendency to bounce onto they bounce onto your cheeks, but just look at the colors in there. They are beautiful. And I am a very big fan of Colourpop's variety. They've been launching a lot, but this is not a new launch. This can be found on Ulta or Colourpop.com. And it's not going to hurt your checkbook, especially right now. So, beautiful, beautiful palette. I love the reds and the golds and the browns. So that was one that I thought of. Next is one of my absolute favorite palettes. I can't say enough about this palette. It is one of my favorite fall everyday palettes. I can glamorize with it. I can use it as an everyday palette and make it just as simple as I think everybody should have this palette. I am talking about the Tarte Toasted palette. This also, when I started getting into buying actual palettes, not buying eyeshadows by the singles, or when I started venturing outside of Walmart or CVS, when I started buying from places like Ulta or Sephora, this was one of my first palettes that I purchased, and I never regretted it. I happen to love Tarte. I love their colors. This is an absolute gorgeous palette. Sorry about the light shining. You've got a variety of warm colors here. If you're definitely a warm tone person, this is beautiful. I just think this is an elegant palette. I just think it's elegant. It's, I don't want to say rich looking because that's not the way I'm trying to, the richness in the colors, I guess you could say, is what I'm talking about. And the warmthness is beautiful. The champagniness in here and in here is just beautiful. This is a shimmer in here. It's not even showing up on the camera very well, but easy to use. Again, it's not difficult to figure out how to use the palette. This, here I go knocking stuff over again. You can either go towards the regular dark browns or more ones with more of a reddish tone in them. You've got toppers. It's really beautiful. It's really, I love the shimmer shades in here. It's just so beautiful. Oh, that's Colourpop. Don't just ignore that one. Look at these. Hopefully you can see them. I've got to get a wipe. But that's just beautiful. Beautiful. And that's just like 3 of the shimmers that are in there. Highly recommend it. Think everybody should have it. But that's just my opinion. Again, one of my first and favorite palettes. And that can be found in Ulta. I believe it can be found still in Sephora, and I'm sure you can probably still find it on Tarte's website. If you are looking for something a little larger than that, but still along the lines of the same coloring, I might intrigue you with Morphe. Morphe has a similar palette that is all bronze. And again, a beautiful, beautiful situation going on here with those browns, burgundies, and golds. That is just lovely. The colors are not as buttery, but they are just as pigmented. It's just another beautiful bunch of palettes. I can't even hold this thing. But if you're looking for something but like Tartelette but larger, this is definitely it. You've got your darker shades here. You've got black, a gray. If you like to have the blacks and grays in here, then you've got dark brown, a dark brown shimmer, a dark brown. If you need to go towards the redder colors, you've got one here, you have one here. Then if you want to go towards your cranberries and you let it hit you in your head, then yeah, you can see what I'm saying. This can be found still on Ulta. I'm not sure about Morphe's site, but I definitely know it can be found on Ulta's website. I will list the price somewhere down below. Great palette. Next is a wonderful palette that I've had a lot of fun playing with and creating lots of looks, and I think it deserves to be in the running. And I mainly think of it because I thought of the burgundies, of the golds, of the browns, and of the greens. And that happened to be Urban Decay's Born to Run palette. What a colorful rainbow we've got there, huh? But here you have your current maroon colors for the deep reds. You've got your golds here, and then you've got creams to balance it out. You've got your browns, your pumpkins, And then over here, you still have your greens for the trees, the deep greens that come in, the winter colors. This is just, I plan on doing a fall look with this palette. So FYI, this will be coming up. So if you are interested in seeing a look with this color, it will be coming, this palette, it will be coming up. So, but this palette is made for that. It's born to run, but born to run to fall. I don't know what I just said, but perfect palette for fall. Look at that. And this is just a great palette. This can be found, I believe, on Ulta. I think it's still going to be found on Sephora. But again, I will leave the price down on the bottom of the screen. Beautiful palette. And you gotta love the packaging. I mean, gotta love that. And then next, of course, this year, we have to put in there the new, and that not because we have to, but because you want to, the new Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. I am so excited. This palette looks so fun. I have already done one look with it. I kind of did a sunset kind of look using these colors. And I was going out and I almost wished that I had taped it. I didn't have enough time and the look came out beautiful. I used this dark color, the orange color, the yellow color. I believe that was in my crease. It was just absolutely beautiful. And I think I used this color in my inner part. It just came, it might have been this one, but it was beautiful. And now I want to recreate it. So it might be one of my future fall colors, but just it based on that alone, it was beautiful. But just on this half of it alone, it's awesome. And then you've got the greens in there. It looks like a beautiful palette to just create some fun in. This is out now. I will list the price. It can be found on Too Faced's website, I believe, Ulta's website, and Sephora's website. It probably can be found a lot more than that, but great palette. And it's a great palette even for spring, if you look at it. What fun. So, good investment. And then, last but not least, this is a more of a expensive palette, and it's, for me, almost a look but not touch palette. The few times that I have touched it, I've got quite the compliments on the look, but I haven't gone back to it, and I've kind of put it away and said, okay, I'm not going to touch it again because it was a treat for me. And I'm bringing it out now, and I'm going to do a look in it. I've told myself I will do a fall look in it because it's perfect for it. It is Natasha Denona's Metropolis palette. I'm sure everybody's heard of it. Not everybody has it. And it is on the pricier side. I do understand that, but this is why these two categories got separated, the drugstore and the high-end. This is a beautiful palette, and I thought of this palette again for fall. This has the pumpkin-y colors. It's got the yellow colors, the mossy green colors when everything starts to get dark. You've got your browns. This looks like a perfect autumn palette to me, and I am going to test it out. So I will be doing a full video on this palette. I am bound and determined to do it. What will happen, I don't know. I'm not sure what I will do. I'm thinking maybe I'll do green and golds because that looks pretty. Or I could put some orange in there, green and gold. I don't know. It just, the possibilities are endless. But this looks beautiful. I can't wait. So, this palette can be found on Sephora's website. It can also be found on Natasha Denona's website. Her palettes are beautiful. It does have your brown and your black, and that I can appreciate in any palette, because I do like to use that instead of eyeliners a lot of the time. I'm not a big liquid liner kind of person. I do like to use the powder as almost as an eyeliner. So I can appreciate having the blacks and the browns in there. But stick with me and we will see what we can create with this. So that's my roundup. Let me know if I missed any, or if you think that there should be any that should be included in there, if I missed anything, or what your ideas are. I'd love to hear them. I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to stop in and visit me, and I appreciate it, each and every one of you. And I would love to see more of you. Pop on in, tell your friends. I'd love to have you. So if you liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. Leave a comment down below. And if you are not a member of my channel, please consider subscribing today. And if you hit that little notification bell, that will let you know each time I do upload a video, which I've been trying to be more consistent about, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Tuesdays and Fridays, depending on what my neck is doing. And I hope to see you for my next video, which is already in editing. So until then, please stay happy and healthy and safe, and I will see you then. All right, bye-bye.